Let me thank the Association for India's Development and the Amnesty International MIT chapter for inviting me. And I would love to share my experiences with you. This is a little short talk before the film about what happened during this perfect storm, so to speak. And then we will show a BBC documentary film. And after that, we will talk for about 20 minutes. I will talk for about 20 minutes about the lessons learned from this disaster. So, this is the story of the Bhopal gas disaster. This is the largest and the most devastating chemical industrial accident in the world history. You will see a BBC docudrama of my memories. As the occupational health physician for Union Carbide in Bhopal, I was an on-site witness to this disaster. And you will see how all this could have been prevented. More than 12,000 people were killed and over 20,000 were injured. This is the remnants of an old castle that belonged to the royal family of Bhopal. This is the view of the town of Bhopal. It was a beautiful, very beautiful town full of palaces and lakes. This is another view of the city of Bhopal, and that is a picture of Warren Anderson, the chairman of Union Carbide at that time. The background of this whole story: India started with the Green Revolution from 1967 to 1968, and it continued till about 1977, 1978, and it was changing India from a developing nation to a leading agricultural nation. The Green Revolution resulted in a record grain output of 131 million tons in 1978 or so, and it established India as one of the world's largest agricultural producers. A pesticide called Sevin was manufactured by Union Carbide and was introduced into India, and the plan was to manufacture this pesticide so that it could be sold to the Asian market. The toxic materials used in the manufacturing process were carbon monoxide, chlorine, chlorosulfonic acid, phosgene, and methyl isocyanate. The predisposing factors to this disaster were quite a few, actually. The West Virginia plant in Charleston served as the model for the Bhopal plant. The Charleston plant had computerized warning and monitoring systems. The Bhopal plant relied on manual gauges and human senses to smell and detect toxic gas leaks. The Bhopal plant's capacities were much greater than the Charleston plant, so the Bhopal plant manufactured much more. The emergency procedures for large-scale gas leaks were non-existent. Safety and maintenance standards with practices were deteriorating for months. There was a poor morale amongst workers, budget cuts causing retrenchment. The pesticide was not sold. It was returned back to the factory, and the factory was going at a loss. There were defects in the MIC unit. The temperature and pressure gauges were unreliable, often ignored. The refrigeration unit keeping the MIC at low temperature, MIC is the gas that leaked, and it's supposed to be kept at very low temperatures. The refrigeration unit was shut off for some time. The gas scrubber for neutralizing any escaping MIC was closed for maintenance. The gas scrubber neutralizes the gas that comes out as a toxic material. The flare tar burns the toxic gases out as a safety precaution. That was turned off because it was awaiting replacement of a corroded pipe. The temperature alarm at the storage tank was not working. The MIC storage tank was filled beyond the recommended capacity, and the reserve storage tank for excess MIC was already filled. Routine maintenance was being carried out. Some pipelines were flushed with water. The slip blind ensuring no water into the MIC storage tank was not inserted, which was a deadly mistake, and makeshift jumper line, as the Indians called it, to simplify maintenance provided a deadly route for water to enter the MIC tank. So on the night of the 2nd of December, 1984, and the 3rd of December, water mixed with MIC and produced huge increases in temperature and pressure in the MIC tank. The resulting explosion blasted 54,000 pounds of methyl isocyanate and 26,000 pounds of reaction products, including cyanates of various kinds, over the atmosphere into Bhopal. I was studying for a neurology exam, and I noticed my eyes were irritated and they were watering. I woke up in the morning and I saw the streets were lined with thousands of dead and dying. Estimated over 8,000 died, and about 120,000 people were triaged. Heavily exposed victims died in the homes, in the streets, and in the trains. The main cause of death was pulmonary edema. The initial medical response was heroic of the hospital, but there's a limit to how much the hospital can handle. The public health response was scanty, chaotic, and it was further eroded by personal politics. The international aid agency's response was overwhelming. So this is the film, and I would ask Raju to come and help me.